Hello, welcome to Scott Bryant's Fitness Systems. Thank you for clicking on the video. This video is all about the fitness industry in general and how it's changed in the last 8 months from what I can see. Now, from a client point of view, some clients are very scared of going into the gyms because we all know the gyms have never been as clean, as hygienically clean as they should be, simply because the gym owners or the big corporate gyms hire a skeleton staff so they don't have huge outlays, so they can make maximum profit from the gym memberships and from what the members are paying. So the old days of Fitness First, which has now changed its name, in the old days of Fitness First, they had sauna, jacuzzi, steam rooms, and they had coffee areas, and then they had gym instructors, and then they had motivators, and they had the gym instructors and the motivators, and the cleaners that used to try and keep the gym as hygienically clean as possible. But now you've got other gyms that have got rid of all that, so there's no sauna, there's no jacuzzi, there's no steam rooms in many of the gyms today, and they don't even have staff to greet you. You just go in with a card and you go and do your own thing. They may have personal trainers walking around that are there to help you, but they'll only help you if they're thinking of getting you as a client. Or they may give you your first induction and then you're left on your own. Now, to me, this is completely wrong, because when I got into the industry, it was important for every gym to have a gym instructor or a fitness professional always on duty. But now they've cut all these different corners. So the gyms that you go and work out, there's not even a gym instructor or a personal trainer on the floor to help you, especially in private apartments, private buildings, and work in offices where they may have a gym. They won't have nobody in there. They'll have all this expensive equipment, but nobody to help you with any professionalism. At the beginning of this year, I went to a gym a building off of Chelsea, and this building was massive, and millionaire apartments. They had a massive gym, no instructor, nobody there to help anyone whatsoever. So if a member was in there, or a resident was in there and was rowing on the rower and had a heart attack, there would be nobody know that person was dead. So this is what I've seen go bad in the industry. And then the next thing that's gone bad in the industry is that you've got people that are not even qualified saying that they can help you, give you a program and get you into shape. So I highly advise anyone out there that's looking for a PT or a fitness professional to help you, to make sure that they're qualified and that you see their documentation. Unfortunately, in my 20 years of experience, I always go with my portfolio to show my clients. But a lot of the clients are not bothered. They don't even want to see that, which is crazy. If I go and see my doctor, I want to make sure that they're qualified, and I want to see their doctorate's name on the board outside the doctor's building. I'm not going to go and see a doctor on a whim of a friend just going, that doctor's good. I want to investigate them and find out that they're really good at what they do. So unfortunately, in 20 years, I think the fitness industry is at its worst level ever. Simply because you've got these massive corporate gyms where they're not employing staff, they're not paying decent wages to the PTs or the instructors. Like some gyms are having instructors to go in there for 12 hours. So they don't get paid. They get paid for their 12 hours, but they don't earn anything else. So nobody who's got a mortgage or a home or a family can do that type of work because it's only 12 hours. And then they expect you to walk the floor, chat to people for free to try and land people as clients. Now, anyone that's in that type of gym now is going to find it extremely hard, because hundreds and thousands of people are losing their jobs, especially in the city. The city, Canary Wharf, is half empty every day because of the pandemic. So them gyms in Canary Wharf are going to be struggling, and they're probably going to close. There's rumours that Virgin Active is going to close. That's been going for a long time. And the other thing that I've seen over the last 20 years is that there's too many gyms everywhere. And the old hardcore gyms that I used to train in have disappeared, simply because the hardcore gym well, where all the meatheads go and the guys that are really serious about their training, and the corporate gyms is where the guys go, they just mess around. They're not really into it unless they're booking a PT and seeing somebody like myself on a regular basis in which to get into shape. So the online PT is a semi-good idea, but not a fantastic idea from a point of view. If a client has an injury, I'm not going to know because I can't palpate or feel the body. I've said this in other videos. So it's really important, if you need online PT, do that for the time being. But hopefully the gyms will think of a way to make it safer for you to train without picking up the coronavirus. Now, last Christmas I was in the gym and there was no temperature testing, there was no wiping down of the equipment. That never happens, and you very rarely see the cleaner do it or the gym instructors or the PTs doing it, because they all try and get out of it, you know. And I was training and a guy come in who I knew, and he had a really bad cold, and I could see him coughing and spluttering, so I stayed away from him. But he should never have been in that environment. The same as I went into the sauna and steam at this one gym that I use, and there was guys in there and I started chatting to them and, oh, we're in here because we've got a cold and we're trying to sweat it out. Oh, thanks, mate, you know. So it's really important for you to understand that these 8 months of the gyms not having no revenue is going to be the difference between them making or breaking. And I know 7 trainers where their gyms have already closed down completely because their rates are so low that they couldn't pay the regular bills, and as soon as their rent went up and their business rates went up, they had to close down. So what I think will happen in the fitness industry, the ones that have been in it for a long time like myself, 20 years, will probably keep going, because I've got zero overheads really, unless a client books with me and I start using the freelance gym that I'm using. And then online training, my fee won't be cheaper like they've said on a video that I watched. My fee will still be the same because you're paying for my time and my expertise to work with you. Why should I lower my rate and then work double hard in which to be able to earn a living? No, that is completely incorrect. What is correct is to keep your rate high if you're a PT that's watching this. So then that way you don't have to do crazy hours and trying to fit, you know, more than 5 clients in a day. You know, if you're doing a 50-60 minute session and you're doing 5 sessions, like 2 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon and 2 in the evening, that's more than enough if you're charging a minimum of £75 an hour upwards. If you're charging less than that, then that will affect your business and you will probably end up going bankrupt. But if you're doing it all online and people are enjoying it and it's successful, then maybe you can bring it down. But that means that you'll be working double hard. So I would choose to work smart but not hard. And this is what's really important. And really, you know, there's so many videos, Joe Wicks and other professionals, including myself, like my YouTube channel is Scott Bryant Fitness Systems. I'm doing home videos of me training, so you can train to them videos. It doesn't cost you anything at all. All it costs is a click and your time and for you to watch what I'm doing. But remember that when you're working with a fully qualified, highly educated PT, that PT is going to make sure that you're doing everything with correct form and great technique. If you're not, and you do it badly after 5 or 6 repetitions or halfway through your exercise program, you're building 40 motor engrams in your brain, which your body will remember, and then over time you will get an injury. So it's really important that you don't let this happen. So I'm hoping that the industry will go back to how it was, but maybe improve by employing highly qualified staff, paying them really well. So 1, they stay in the gym and don't leave within 3 months, and 2, so they can live a great lifestyle. Not so they can't pay their bills and not so they can't pay their mortgage. And this is what's happening, you know, across the industry, is that many personal trainers get in trouble and end up going bankrupt because they can't earn enough money in which to pay their gym rent as well as their rent or their mortgage at home. So this is what the powers that be that own the gyms, if I owned my own gym, the first thing I would do, it would be to employ highly qualified guys with lots of experience, and I would say to them guys, your salary is going to be 30 to 50k a year, but you're going to have to work for that 30 to 50k a year, and I want you to be loyal, so I will always look after you, pay for your training courses and other things, so then that way the gym will always keep their client base. Because when a client signs up with the trainer, they're not signing up because of the gym, they're signing up because of the trainer. And many of the gyms forget this. They seem to think, oh, because we've got this a bit of equipment, our members won't leave. But they will if you get rid of the trainer. So a friend of mine recently was working at his gym for 2 years, really successful, really doing well. And all of a sudden they said to him, oh, because you were doing this bar exercise, we don't agree with it, so you need to leave. Now that to me is complete stupidity, because they're getting rid of a guy that's been there for 2 years, paying them rent, never got into trouble, clients are very happy, he's doing his job, they lost the trainer, they lost all the clients. So how stupid are these owners that own these gyms? So it's like when I worked at Fitness First. When I worked at Fitness First, this is about 14, 15 years ago. It was when I very first got into it. The rent was low. We liked paying our rent. We looked after all the members, and the members were really happy. All of a sudden, they shot the rent up, so we couldn't earn as much as we was earning before. We had to put our rates up, so clients started to say, I'm not doing that because I can't afford it. So then they started to lose the really good trainers that couldn't build a business, the really good trainers that couldn't keep their business going because the rent rate went up too much. And this is the thing with lots of the big gyms in the industry, they get too greedy. And when they get too greedy, this is when they lose the really good trainers. Now I know about 20, 30 trainers. They've all been in the gym for 20 years. And a lot of them are leaving and giving up on the gym world or the fitness world simply because they can see that they can't earn enough money just to do their normal living and to pay their normal expenses. So if you are a big owner of a big gym, please comment down below or give me a call, and I will help you to build a great employee base of trainers that won't leave, that will stay with you for years and years, and you will constantly be earning revenue as long as you do it in a fair way. And this is what's wrong with the industry, is that, you know, there's a multitude of courses out there, and once you've done your first personal trainer course, they expect you to do another course and another course and another course, which many trainers are, you know, marketing their own courses. I've got nothing against that at all. But if you spent £3,000 on your education to become a personal trainer, do you want to spend another 20k learning loads of other stuff, and then you're only going to get £50 an hour in a big so-called gym, or £35 an hour? They've lowered it from what I've heard recently, which is absolutely crazy. If you're lowering your rate to £35 an hour, you're having to work even harder. Now, I was charging £75 an hour in 2002, 2003. I now charge £100 an hour to £180 an hour, simply because tax has gone up, business rates have gone up, my living standard has gone up, and the cost of living has gone up. So if you reduce your rate to £35 and you're only going to see 20 clients, 30 clients a week, you're still not earning enough to pay all your bills, pay your rent, But if you live at home and you've got no major bills to pay, £35 is a lot of money. But it won't be a lot of money in 5 years' time. So it's really important that you educate yourself about rates and how to get high profile clients if you want to survive in the fitness industry. So I believe that online training is okay, but you can't palpate, you can't really feel the client, you can't stretch the client, you can't have that one-to-one-ness the same as what you would if you were doing a one-to-one session with them. And then obviously the gyms need to change. I think there's only going to be one gym chain that's maybe left, depending on how much debt that they're in with all the premises that they've got all over the UK. And what you'll see is that you've got, 6 or 7 main big companies. They're all competing against each other. But what they should do is all join with each other and then find a system that works where they employ great PTs, pay the PTs really well, the ones that have done the studying, got the knowledge and know how to look after clients. Then that way the fitness industry will grow in a much better way. Instead of pushing hundreds of thousands of, people that have trained for 3 weeks, or people that are, I've worked with a personal trainer, so I'm going to do it as a living, but then realise that once they've got their bit of paper, to get the client, to get into the gym and to work with people is totally different. It's much, much harder, especially if you go self-employed. But if you're employed and you're getting a salary, I looked online the other day and they're paying $15,000 for a gym instructor. Now, when I was doing gym instructing, when I very first qualified, it was $15,000 then. That's 20 years ago. So the money's never gone up, which is madness. Why would it not go up? It needs to go up. Because I'd never go back to doing that job, because 15 grand, once you paid your rent and your bills, where inflation and everything has gone up, you can't have a life. You can't do anything on 15 grand. This is madness. And this needs to change. And the only way it's going to change is if personal trainers boycott it and personal trainers make their voice known. And if you're a PT and you're watching this, you must do a video on the same subject. And the more that we, as the professionals that pay a lot of money to learn all this stuff, stand up and be counted, the more the fitness industry will change for the better. Now, at my gym that I've left now, the one where I work myself at, the floors were dirty, the showers were dirty, the showers stunk of sewage. I complained to the manager about that. The toilets had bogies on the wall, and where the urinals were, bogies all over the wall. The work surface had bleach on the side, or where somebody had put some bleach on there and it had stained the work surfaces. Half the time there wasn't enough towels, half the time there wasn't any bags to put your smelly, dirty gym kit in, and the lockers were broken. So I decided, do I really want to pay £45 every month, £700 a year, to go to a stinky, dirty, smelly gym? And the answer is no. So I train at home now, and I use my other gym for my clients, and some clients I see at home, and I like that much more. I am missing being in the big boy gym, or the gym that had lots of free weights, which I really loved, and some cables, but I don't see why paying £45 a month when the gym is dirty, smelly, unclean. And in the 7 years that I was a member, I never got told about a fitness assessment. Yes, they know that I'm a trainer, but why wouldn't they say, Scott, do you want to come in and have a fitness assessment? Or Scott, do you want to come in and do a spin class? Never ever mentioned it. So why would I give them 700 and whatever pounds a year to be a member when they're not even looking after me as a member, and they're not even looking after their own gym, which is terrible. But there is another gym that's much, much cheaper that I went in. I really was impressed. It was really big, really clean, but no staff. And they're getting the staff to do the mentoring of the clients and the fitness assessments and cleaning. Now, you can't get respect from members if you're cleaning and doing classes and trying to get PT. It just doesn't work. So if you disagree with me with any of this video, please comment down below. Or if you agree with me, please comment down below and tell me where you think the fitness industry is going. I think we're going to see a lot of gyms close, and the ones that will stay open are the ones that will change their philosophy or their business acumen on how they treat their members and how they treat the staff that work in the gym. Really, the gyms are making huge amounts of money every month and every year. Why can't they pay their staff really well? And why can't they give them lots of benefits as well, so they stay there for a long time. When I was at my gym where I was training, you would see new PTs every 4 or 5 weeks. And I said, you know, to a couple of the PTs that I got chatting to, why are you leaving? Well, we only get £12 of the £45 that they charge for PT, and we don't get a salary. So they can't live on the money, and that's why they keep leaving. But because there's so many people in the fitness industry now that have done a crap course, or they don't know what they're doing, they go into them gyms thinking, I'm going to land it all, or I'm going to be really busy. But they're forgetting a lot of the main payers for the PT sessions have already got a PT that they may see at the weekends that go round to their home, or they may see disguisingly in the gym. And this is what the managers don't get in their head. And this is why, you know, in a lot of these gyms, the PT is not successful. It's not making as much money as it should be. So I hope this was insightful. I know this is a long video, 20 minutes, but I really enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to read more about my 20 years of experience, there's my book, Holistic Health for Proper Geezers, Classy Ladies, Get the Body and Fitness You Want Now. It's on Amazon. It's $6.95. It's got lots of great information in there, and it took me nearly 2 years to get out there. So I hope you purchase my book, and if you do purchase the book, you get a free program with me, but you've got to tell me what the code is in the back of the book, not on the back of the book, inside the back of the book. And every Thursday